All right, we are live. I'm here with Deb from the Omnivorous Reader. Deb, thank you so much for joining us. It's nighttime for me. I think it's early morning for you, right?
Yep, it's 10 a.m.
10 a.m. All right, here it's 5 p.m. So, yeah, you're from Australia. What part of Australia are you in? Uh-oh, did I lose you?
No, you didn't. I just need to close down. I was getting repeating. Okay.
Oh, you're
Okay.
getting the echo.
Go,
Yep.
go, go.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I jumped up before we went on to make sure because I also had it open on another screen.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so yeah, Deb is from Australia. What part of Australia from, Deb?
I live in the state of Queensland on the Gold Coast. I'm just a tiny breath from New South Wales, so I'm on Brisbane Standard Time.
Nice.
And yeah.
Is it spring there? I know this should be obvious, but I can never understand the difference in seasons from the southern and the northern hemisphere.
Pretty much the exact opposite. I think we're actually in summer already. It might be spring,
Oh,
but we're
okay.
starting to get the summer storms. We get these massive storms roll through that have got these huge hailstorms, and we
Oh, yeah.
only get them in spring and summer. So yeah,
Yeah, one
and
thing Deb and I kind of realized last time we were doing, we did a book together. We did Picnic at Hanging Rock, and we talked a lot before we started recording. We're both kind of desert people. We have because we also get big summer storms with hailstorms over here. So, and then we got like big hail. Sometimes it'll destroy. You can find people's cars with all these little circular dents all over them because of these hailstorms. It's
yep,
interesting.
absolutely. I think technically we're a Mediterranean area rather than a desert area, but
Oh,
really the whole continent of Australia is arguably a desert. And if you
right.
drive for an hour, you reach some. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Deb. This is going to be fun. We got a lot of people already. Sir Wonderbeard, you have a great name. I don't think I've seen you comment in here before. Upon your recommendation, I've been reading House on the Borderland, and holy cow, it's been great. Yeah, this is a wonderful read. I'm glad you're reading it.
And I'm so
Feronia.
envious. I just can't find that book anywhere. Not in libraries, not in bookshops, not anywhere.
I tell you, so uh, Jake from Pulp Mortem talked about it, and the next day we had the Albuquerque Antiquarian Book Fair, which only happens once a year. People come from all over the Southwest, and I just happened to see this in a bin for $8, and Jake had just talked about it, so I grabbed it up. Other than that, I've never seen it out in the wild. I just I don't know. It's hard to get.
It's a unicorn. Hi, Feronia Felix. Good to see you.
Yeah, from Italy. Thank you for joining us. Oh,
What
Captain
time?
Finity Time Travel Police is here. I think I said it right this time. The first time he came on into my channels, I couldn't get Finity right.
So it's infinity, but this is finity.
I think
I
so.
like it.
Captain Finity Time Travel Police. Yeah. Oh, thank you for joining us. What's up, Dagon Studios? Constance, glad you're here. Sephros, glad you're here. Sapphire Wine.
Sapphire Lion. Good to see you. Glad
Okay.
you could join us for a while.
Yeah, me too. Summer starts December 21st or around there when winter starts here in the real world. Uh-oh. Somebody's throwing down already. Spooky Hanging Rock. Yes, absolutely. And I realized right when I logged on and Deb and I started chatting right before we went live that we probably should have both read the last chapter that we didn't read at the end of the last reading to talk about that, but we haven't done that yet. So someday, Deb, you and I will have to read that final chapter and do a quick video and just what we thought.
Absolutely. Next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Christmas here in the southern hemisphere is an absolute joke because there's no snow.
There's no
Yeah.
snow.
There's no snow.
No snow.
It's a
You
warm
get these Australian families trying to do the Christmas dinner, and you've got the ham and you've got the turkey, and there's all this heat, and it's like 31 to 40 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, outside, and everyone's just melting.
oh man. I guess Santa changes his outfit when he goes to the southern hemisphere delivering
Absolutely.
presents. What's up, Jack Yo? Oh, I told Deb, I said there's going to be a couple of books that come up that I guarantee are going to come up in the chat, and Arcturus was one of them. Oh, but I didn't grab it down. Yes, Arcturus was absolutely insanely good, Mr. Bandana Head. I loved it. It's really fun. That's another one that I think is hard to find out in the wild, Deb.
Yeah,
Voyage to Arcturus. Yeah. Do you ever do Audible? Do you ever listen to books on tape?
I personally don't do Audible. I do Blackstone because Blackstone audiobooks are available through my library. And
that's awesome.
I'm reading a James S.A. Corey, The Mercy of Gods, at the moment. Listening with my ears.
I've never read any Corey.
I've tried before. This one is going better than my first attempt.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him at all.
You know the show The Expanse?
Yes. Oh.
It's based on Corey books.
Yeah, we watched the first season of that, my buddy and I, and I remember being really blown away that they considered what living in an asteroid belt would do to people's bodies.
Yep.
That it would really affect gravity and how much gravity they could take. Really, I enjoyed that first season. I think we kind of petered out in the second season. I don't know what it was, but we just kind of slowly stopped watching.
Me too. I absolutely loved the first season. Andrea, hi.
Andrea.
I absolutely loved that first season. There was spectacular. But the second one, it just missed the mark for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I guess it must have for us too, because we stopped. Yeah. Audiobooks. I read whenever I can when I'm not when I'm at home and have free time. I read, but I also like to read in my car when I drive around, and that's where I really do the audiobooks. And this recent trip, like I listened to a ton of Conan on the way to Jake's. Then I listened to A Voyage to Arcturus all the way through Kansas, one sitting, and then I listened to Solaris on the way home from my brother's. It was I listened to so many books as I was going. Really good stuff. I really like listening to books too. I think it's really fun.
Sometimes. Usually I like listening to books. There's a few that have really ruined it for me. So you've got the audiobook, which is basically a narrator, sometimes two narrators. Mm-hmm. I'm divided on the two narrators.
I've never listened to two narrators. Yeah.
But sometimes they do sound effects, and I think that's called graphic audiobooks. And it drives me up the wall. I was listening to one, and like you, I listen in the car, and Australia is big, so road trips are huge. I'm driving from here to Brisbane, which is 2 or 3 hours, depending on traffic, and I'm hearing this.
Oh.
And I'm going, my car, what's wrong? Is it a tire? Is it something caught underneath? What's wrong? What's wrong? So I paused the audiobook to try and figure out where it was, and it stopped. Weird. Turned the audio back on.
Oh, strange. Yeah.
You've got these sound effects.
No, I've only listened to books where people read. I've never had more than one narrator. I did have one narrator that was obviously theater trained, and he was good. He did every accent, but he was so quiet that I couldn't turn my car stereo up enough to hear the dude. It drove me nuts. That was this book. John Ferris's All Heads Turn When the Hunt Goes By. Like
I know that one.
Yeah, it I find that it's too much an exposition for my liking, but the narrator, man, God, yeah. Oh, hey, Robin. Robin's here.
Hi.
Yeah. Goatman is very quietly sneaking in illegally at work and whispering hi all. Hi, Goatman. Rob is here. We were talking about you just a minute ago, Rob. Yeah, I'm secretly planning, because you're in Arizona, I think. So I'm secretly trying to plan a time to sneak down there and meet you in person, because I have been loving your videos, and I want to see that crazy room you keep showing off. So yeah, I'm threatening you with a visit.
I'm envious of that trip, but I feel, Chris, that you're Attempts at secrecy may have failed.
I'm not good at secrecy. My home is in St. Oh, this is Deep Ashtray. My home town is St. Paul, Minnesota. If you draw a straight line from here through the center of the earth to the other side, the closest piece of land is an island named St. Paul Island. Who knew?
I don't know St. Paul Island.
I do not either. Yeah. I just started reading the first Expanse novel, trying not to obsessively compare it to the excellent Peerless TV show. Seasons 1 through 3 are perfection. Come on, Beltalada, which must be from the show. I guess I have to give it another chance. Yeah.
Captain Infinity, let us know how you go. I could not.
Yeah, he says 1 through 3 are really good. So yeah, I'll have to give it a try.
Paul Island is in the North Pacific Island, North Pacific Ocean, between Alaska, I think that is, and probably Russia. Slightly chilly, I would say.
Minnesota goes up to.
That doesn't sound right.
That doesn't make any sense. That must not be the right island.
There must be maybe there's.
Yeah, there must be more than one St. Paul Island because Minnesota would not come out by Alaska if you went straight through. I don't think.
Sekiros, Hitchhiker's Guide. You have hit the button and you are going to get the rant.
Let's do it.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I adore in all its forms, except possibly one of the movies. Even then, it was first written as a radio play by the BBC. The British Broadcasting Corporation, and the radio play is fantastic. If you are one of those people out there who's never been able to get into the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and regrets it, find that recording of the British radio play. That's not a narration of the book, it was actually written as a play, and it is fantastic. It is still my favorite manifestation of the Hitchhiker's Guide, all the way through to Restaurant at the End of the Universe, at least. Try it out.
It's actually how I started with Hitchhiker's Guide was the BBC radio. Yeah, my brother was way into it and he'd play it all the time. And there's one joke that I remember from it where everybody's running to the ship and the depressed robot, what's his name? Marvin,
the paranoid android.
Yeah, Marvin is right behind them on their heels and they have to close the door right when they get in, and they close the door and Marvin can't get into the ship, but it turns out it's a time machine and they travel 1 million years into the future.
Yep.
And then they open the door and Marvin is standing there. He's been standing there for 1 million years, but for them it was just a second. And he goes, "Where have you been?" And that's the only joke I really remember from that BBC show, but we did like that BBC show a lot.
Yep.
That's fun. Yeah. I was it written before the books or was it written after?
I'm 99% certain that it was written before the books. It appeared as a radio play, and following that popularity, he started producing the books.
Oh, okay.
That's my understanding.
John in the Shelter. I hate being the guy who bells out on current sci-fi novels, but I can't help it. Voyage to Arcturus and Solaris are just flat out great. The writers just grab hold of their ideas and wrestle with them. I agree with that. Oh, we got a bird.
We got a bird.
What's the bird's name?
Is molting.
Oh, the bird is molting.
And he is not very happy with life right now.
Oh, he's got his mouth open.
Hello. Oh, that's exciting, isn't it? Yes.
What's his name?
Rippy Cheap.
Rippy Cheap?
Rippy Cheap, yes.
Rippy Cheap. Okay, I think I'm saying that right.
You are. Lovers of the Narnia series will know it. Hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake.
Where are we trying to go here?
I keep bailing on contemporary sci-fi novels. Maybe it's an age thing. All Heads Turn was really has some really powerful description. Yeah, I don't know if I gave this a fair shake because I was like livid the entire time I was trying to listen to this narrator say it without being able to hear him very well. But I also felt like massive portions of this book are two people sitting around talking and giving exposition about stuff that happened to them in the past, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I will say this is the best modern science fiction I've read in a while. Clara and the Sun by Ishiguro is just. Have you read this, Deb?
I haven't. It's on my to-read list based on your review. I just finished an Ishiguro not that long ago, though. What was it?
Never Let Me Go?
That I read a while back, and I have mixed feelings about it. Hang on, I'm getting up.
Okay, all right. I win. I didn't get up first, y'all. Dramatization style narration could be a challenge, too distracting. Yeah, that one I grew up with. I heard it when I was way young, so it really worked for me. Ghost Reader in the Sky, how are you? What you got? Oh, An Artist of the Floating World. I read that in my undergrad. Yeah, that's that's the Japanese artist, right? That's trying to.
I absolutely loved it. It was amazing.
Good. Have you read Remains of the Day, his big one?
I feel like when did it come out?
Like I know, like 80s, late 80s.
I feel like I did read that. I feel like I read it a long time ago before I started on Goodreads, which is currently my mobile memory. So I don't remember when.
Yeah, that was it was really good one. Yeah, it's interesting because he wrote an incredible, I feel, Japanese novel with Never Let Me Go, and then he wrote like an incredible kind of quintessentially British novel with Remains of the Day. Really interesting guy.
Okay. In my copy of An Artist of the Floating World, you've got this little introduction about how he came to write it.
Oh,
and I
interesting.
really loved that. That put the setting of who he is, what he was doing in England at the time, how he came to write it, where the Japanese comes from, and I thought it really gave it an extra depth.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, mine is an old version, doesn't have that at the beginning. Wild Die Woodward. Dang it. I should know your name. I'm sorry. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Please tell me your name in the comments. I should know this. But Chris, I just told you all my fears, hopes, and dreams. What do you mean you don't keep secrets? Sorry.
Come on, tell us. Yes, so the introduction was written by the author in 2016.
Okay.
So hindsight, and I thought that really worked well.
That's great. I'm going to have to check it out. That sounds wonderful. That St. Paul Island I found is off the northwest coast of Australia.
Northwest? Okay. We do have a lot of tiny unknown islands there, mostly uninhabited.
Yeah. Everybody's stuck on me not being able to keep a secret. I'm definitely not telling Chris about my Princess Leia Bespin outfit doll. Dang it.
And he so wanted to hear.
Sephiroth has never listened to the radio show.
Oh, you should.
Yeah. Two seemingly forgotten sci-fi novels to check out: Lords of the Starship by Mark Gustin, about the building of a super weapon over decades, and Year of the Quiet Sun by Wilson Tucker, about time travel. I have the Wilson Tucker, the Year of the Quiet Sun. So I might be able to check that out. Year of the Quiet Sun is about time travel and a race war. Thoughtful and stays with you. Wow.
That sounds great.
Time travel? Captain Finity, Time Travel Police. He's got to check all time travel books. Goatman. On my trip to Perth, I got through a lot of audiobooks. Pictures of Dorian Gray. That's a great novel. A Zane Grey Western. Nice. Tale of Two Cities is wonderful. John Silent Stories. I haven't read those yet. The Willows by Blackwood and The White People by Mockin. White People by Mockin I'm going to be doing on my channel eventually. I just got a copy of it. A-Top always talks to me that I need to read that one. I think the original TV series actually came before the books too. Could be wrong though. Wow, I never knew that.
That would be Hitchhiker's Guide. I think so.
Yeah. I recommend Quest for the Future by A.E. Van Vogt. I have so much Van Vogt, which I'm a bit surprised there's nothing on YouTube, and I've got one of those cockatiels. Call him Zeke.
I've got a pile of Van Vogt about so high that I have read in the last 5 to 7 years. I've got a pile this high that I haven't read in the last 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to rereading. I want to reread the Weapon Shop series, but I've got the second not the first, so that's kind of.
I liked the first book, Weapon Shops of Ishtar, I think it's called. Yeah, I liked the first book. Yeah. Year of the Quiet Sun does something creative with time travel. David Gerald's Man Who Folded Himself is wild too. I feel like we're talking about Willie Todgerson Jr. every time I hear the Man Who Folded Himself. God, Never Let Me Go is beautifully written, but damn, is it a bring down. I don't know. I've never read that one.
Ishiguro? Never Let Me
Yeah.
Go?
Yeah. I've never read that one. That's the one, Ishiguro, that I haven't read. Yeah, I read The Artist of the Floating World, and
I was conflicted upon it. I hadn't remembered that I knew the author at all, so I read it out of nowhere. I found it in an op shop, and I just started reading it. And to me, on the first reading, it didn't quite seem to hit any of my target goals. Beautifully written, yes. I couldn't quite decide what it was about exactly and what it was aiming to do exactly. But I think I read it over a year ago now, and I'm still thinking about it. So that is a good book.
Yeah.
My original impression was that it was a young adult book. Which,
interesting.
Sci-Fi Scavenger assures me is entirely wrong.
Well, this one started, Clara and the Sun. He actually started this as a young adult book. The first 100 pages are a young adult book that he wrote, and then he added. He I think his daughter read it and said, "Dude, you got to keep going, and you need to not make it a kid book. You need to really tell this story." And that's how the rest of Never Let Me Go came about. So he has flirted with that. Maybe that could be the case with Never Let Me Go as well. I had somebody tell me that if I loved Clara and the Sun, Never Let Me Go is better. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I really loved Clara and the Sun. I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Well, John, Sci-Fi Scavenger, he really loved Never Let Me Go as well. I think it was him that really loved it, and he talked about it. And then I read it first and then watched other people's reviews, and I kept feeling like maybe there was something I wasn't quite getting about it, because I enjoyed it, but I didn't feel that it had anything particularly new or insightful to say. And I still can't decide if that's because I've read other books that had some of these themes so often.
Sure.
That I'm blasé. I do need to reread it though. I'll reread it in a few months and see.
Remains of the Day builds to a moment of self-realization. It's like a punch to the gut. The movie was okay, but that moment is worth reading the novel. Absolutely. It's Scott. Scott, please don't hate me forever. I'm sorry I forgot that. Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining us, Scott. I really appreciate it. If you haven't checked out Scott's channel, it's awesome. Hey, Sephiros, want to read a book with me? Oh, there's buddy read stuff happening in the chat. Speaking of awesome channels, there's Jake at Pulp Mortem. If you're not subscribed to Jake, you should be.
Of course you are. Everyone is.
I think so, yeah. Speaking of Lem, I just bought the Italian edition of Lem's Fiasco. I don't think I have Fiasco, but I have no idea how it is. Did you happen to read it? No, I'm sorry. I've only done 2 Lems so far, and I'm going to try to do 1 Lem a year. I did the Futurological Congress and Solaris, and I really enjoyed Solaris, but I know the story of Solaris so well that the novel, I had to really force myself to imagine reading it for the first time, and it was very difficult to do. Because of that, I think the second half of Futurological Congress, in my opinion, is more fun than Solaris. And I know that's fighting words, but I wonder if now is the time. I really like Solaris. I loved the movie. So yeah, it was very hard for me to listen to the book without all my previous knowledge of the story. So yeah, I liked it, but I think the second half of Futurological Congress is superior for me. And Deb has a real controversial opinion on Solaris. Let's hear it, Deb.
I hated Solaris so much that I could taste it in my toenails. I really loathed that book. I want to read more Lem. I think it was that specific book that I didn't like. for very specific reasons. The writing was good. I want to read more of Stanislaw Lem's books, which I haven't managed to find so far.
Hard
My
to find.
problem with Solaris was that essentially I've got a lot of problems, but the central one is that I have a marine biology degree. If you take me to a planet with a sentient ocean, I don't care if it appears to me as my deceased father, grandfather on both sides, and anyone else. I will talk to it. And all these people in this book wanted to do was kill it. You've got this amazing chance to talk with a sentient ocean, and because it has misfigured and appeared as your dead girlfriend, you're running from this option. What sort of scientist is that? That's not a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, stop now.
No, that's fine. I will add, having just read it, that none of the creations of the sentient ocean know anything about that. They think they're humans.
Yes.
Yeah, so they can't say anything about Solaris. In fact, the one character that finds out she was made by a sentient ocean, it drives her to taking her own life because she's not who she thought she was. But I see what you're saying. I at one point I felt the same. I was like, wait a minute, these guys should be like obsessed with these guests.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, let's see. Did anybody freak out in the comments?
Please don't firebomb my house. I'm willing to discuss it with you, but I did not like that book.
Yeah, so the crazy thing about the other one is it is hard. Futurological Congress is what we're talking about. It's hard satire for the first half, and I was like not into it very much. But then that second half comes around, and it's some of the best sci-fi writing I've ever read. Yeah, it's very odd, I admit. Okay, nobody's getting too mad at you here. Zane Grey, The Heritage of the Desert, about Mormon community getting a bad time and their slow build up finally taking action. I enjoyed it. Not too much pew pew gun scenes though. Interesting. Yeah, that's the area I grew all up in, southern Utah. And don't hate me, but I like Solaris with George Clooney. Oh, that's even scarier take than Deb is throwing out here.
Really?
I guess so. Yeah, like everywhere I go, like everybody's like hates the George Clooney movie, and so I just never watched it because all I've heard is terrible things. So I can't really state an opinion on it because I haven't seen it. I love Solaris, not the Clooney movie though. All right, good. We made it past the Solaris part. That's good.
No one's exploding. That's good.
That's right. Let's see what comments we missed. Yeah, we got that. I'm always looking for time travel stories with one malleable timeline so I can give them a big fat X. Yeah, that's Scott. Hey, Sephiroth, want to read a book? I think Sephiroth, Pulp Jake asked Sephiroth, do you want to read a book? And Sephiroth said, right now.
Why not?
Makin is the god of horror. I will almost die on that hill. Yeah, I'm excited. I really enjoyed The Great God Pan. I really enjoyed that. Yes, you said dinosaur. I know you're moving on to beach, but we're going to stop at dinosaur. I've been terrible. I am going to get my Dino November read up, but it's not happening until the 29th. So I will literally be one day away from being too late for Dino November. If you don't know what Dino November is, this is something that Brian from Bad Taste Books and Andrea from Infinite Text put together. I thought Andrea put it all together, but people have been saying now that Brian, I don't know. But anyway, I am reading a Ray Bradbury story. The minute you say dinosaur tales, and the first thing I'm going to think of is The Sound of Thunder by Ray Bradbury, which is the time travel story that taught me about the concept of what do you call it when you go back in time and
time travel?
Say again?
Time travel?
No, when you go back, paradox.
Paradox.
This taught me about the idea of paradox, but also this book made dinosaurs terrifying. And this is what I love about Ray Bradbury. So I'll be talking about that on the 29th. You're reading a dinosaur book too, aren't you, Deb?
I've read a few actually. I really want to find that Ray Bradbury again, though. I know I read that a long time ago, but I don't own it anymore. And the
It's
dinosaurs in there were really good. Yes, I read Brian Aldiss's An Age, and I posted a review on my channel. I
nice.
read Dinosaur Planet and Dinosaur Planet 2 Survivors by Anne McCaffrey, and I posted reviews on my channel. If you haven't read them, maybe reconsider. They weren't great. Um, I think I read a couple of others as well. At the moment, I'm reading a nonfiction, The Dinosaur Heresies by Robert Bakker.
Oh,
Bakker, I think. This was a really great novel. Book. He was a paleontologist in the 70s, and he started challenging some of the orthodoxies about dinosaurs, that they were cold-blooded and had to move slowly, that brontosauruses stood around in the swamps, that their main legs were like this, like a lizard, instead of like this, like a rhino. And he goes through all of these with his own gorgeous illustrations. Archaeopteryx, my favorite dinosaur. But it's huge.
Shit.
It's
I'm not
huge,
doing my job here.
and it's heavy.
Show us an art picture again.
It's huge and it's heavy and it's slow to read because it's so information full. So I'm really racing against the clock to finish it in November. High
Nice. Hopes. Yeah, it looks thick.
It is. It is a home defense weapon, really.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're a long way through that.
Yeah, I had to take a break to read something else, but it's 481 pages, including references, some of which I am reading.
Wow. Light reading, a little light reading for Deb.
Not even for me is this light reading.
A-Top's here. Hey, A-Top. He says, yeah, I love Solaris for its atmosphere and storyline, but not for its believability. I get where Deb is coming from.
And that's why I want to read more Stanislaw Lem. I'm sure that if he was writing about anything but a sentient ocean that looks like a yeast and is somehow meant to be a computer at the same time, and no one wants to talk to it, anything else, I think I'd be good.
Yeah, you might like the second half of the Futurological Congress. So this book has been Piranesi has been recommended to me so many times by some booktubers, and so I put it on my Christmas list. So I think that that's going on my TBR. Maybe the Tarkovsky film, I think, is probably the reason I love Solaris. Must have seen that film on TV when I was a child. The White People by Arthur Mackett is incredible. Yes, that's coming up, A-Top. There's so many books that aren't in English that I want to read. Agreed. I may need to translate the books myself at this point. They won't be good translations, but they will be done nonetheless, right? Soderbergh, yeah, that's who did the Butterfly Effect, Jack. Yes, that's what they call it in the. For me, Solaris is actually a kind of another haunted house story. The ocean is the evil spirit. That's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. I opted to skip.
Actually work on that level. I'm not sure I can ever believe in an ocean as an evil spirit, but it would work if you did.
Yeah. I opted to skip Dinovember. Well, there's your mistake, Scott. And then I unintentionally read a book with a dinosaur in it. Damn it! Good job, you and Jake.
You and Jake both.
No, I wanna read the novelization of the 1961 film Reptilicus. I don't think I've ever seen Reptilicus. Are you familiar with that?
Nope.
That movie. Dinosaur Beach is time travel by Keith Laumer. Nice. Does Roadmarks by Zelazny count as a time travel dinosaur adventure?
Yes,
Whoa,
but they were dragons. They were dragons.
Yeah,
and what a dinosaur though.
Yeah, isn't he traveling down a highway and the exits are different places in time?
It's a marvelous book. It was my favorite Roger Zelazny until A Night in the Lonesome October came out. But yes, the main protagonists are indeed dragons, but there is a dinosaur that is a plot. Yes. It
Mm.
counts. It counts.
There you go. You heard it from Deb, who is guaranteed to be a host next. Oh, there's the
Yes.
Laumer.
Yes. And that was going to be one of my Die November reads. I just never quite got to it.
Okay. Oh, nice parakeet, says Tom Snedeker.
Thank you.
Yeah. Constance says read Piranesi. It's real good, says Atop. Each Christmas season, I try to read as much Christmas horror as I can, and I watch the BBC's A Ghost Story for Christmas on YouTube. Thomas Ligotti has a great Christmas horror story short I'd recommend. Yeah, I started last year, last Christmas. I found a sci-fi book that was all Christmas stories. And
Wow.
I read a couple of them on the channel on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and nobody much cared for it. But I like this idea of trying to find seasonal books, and I know uh, more for the UK. I don't know about this in Australia or Canada, but I know that Christmas is associated with ghost stories, which it's really not out here.
Definitely in England.
Yeah.
Don't think so much in Australia. Maybe initially, but it's really hard to get excited about ghosts when it's 40 degrees outside and
Right.
you're going to the beach. Beach
Yeah.
and ghosts. I'm sure there is somewhere out there a story that involves ghosts on beaches. Let me know if you've read it, but I've never seen it.
Ghosts on beaches. Man, the closest I can think of is there's a Ray Bradbury story where I wonder if I can do this. Where he goes to a beach where he spent some time. Oh my God. Where he spent some time with his first love, and he's there much later in his life with his wife,
Yeah.
and I think he sees her ghost. She died in the ocean, and I think he sees her ghost haunting him from the ocean. Maybe. So I
If
might.
there's a story like that, I want to read it.
I think there is. In fact, I think Jason did a video on the channel when he was part of the channel. I think my
Okay.
brother did a video on that story, and it is beautifully written. I really enjoyed it as well. Yeah. I'll look it up once we're done here, Deb, and send you the name of it.
Please.
Yeah. Scary beach horror ghosts. Max Landshark, that's a great name. Hell's Friends just dropping in now. Nice to see you. Does drawing of the three count as ghosts on a beach? You know, I DNF'd right at that moment. I know there was lots of weird lobsters. Yeah, I would say it does, but I'd need somebody that was more familiar with the book to chime in. Why did Christmas ghost stories resonate so much with the British and Victorian times? Deb, any idea?
Um, I think it's a Dick. I don't know if it started with Dickens, but it's definitely been since Dickens because you've got that Ghost
Yeah.
of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, Ghost of Christmas Future. I believe it's been a long time since I read that Dickens, but since then there've definitely been ghost stories. And for October, I read what's her name, Elizabeth Gaskell, Mrs. Gaskell, and she had
Mm.
that whole ghost and Christmas link in there as well. A
I
couple of times.
love Gaskell. Gaskell's fantastic. Her scary stories are great.
Wow.
And M.R. James also, when he started his Ghost Story Club, they had some kind of big um, Christmas ghost storytelling every year. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can pinpoint the first. It might have been a Christmas story or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really interesting question.
Bear with me. The neighbours hosing down the palm trees. I might
It's
need to close that
important.
window.
Yeah, you got to get those palm trees hosed down. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Oh, you
good, you're
got
back.
it? Yes.
That was so loud.
Oh,
That
sorry.
it sounded like you just dropped the window out of the frame.
No, that's funny. I thought the microphone was actually pointing in this direction. Oh well. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, it sounds fine. Yeah, that was just funny because you walked away and then suddenly bang. All right.
We're alive.
Let's see. The Haunted Inn is one. The Haunted Inn. Maybe a ghost story for Christmas. Oh, maybe Isle Lowers. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Maybe they're talking about beach ghost story.
Haunted Inn. The Haunted Inn, Lynn Coffin number 8.
Oh, Max Landshark is Mecha Gogeta. What's up? All right, now I know who I'm talking to. Yeah. So the Haunted Inn. Who's the author that you're talking about? Isle Lowers. You'll see ghosts. Good job, Constance. It's a Christmas ghost. Do you guys tell ghost stories? Is Christmas connected to ghost stories in Canada, Andrea? Yep, beach ghost stories. The Haunted Inn, beach ghost stories.
Oh, I do need the author though. I can't find it.
Yeah, if you know the author, please let us know. Hi, this is from Miss Park 84. Hi all, I just found your channel recently. I love science fiction and fantasy. My favorite author of all time is Philip K. Dick. I've read everything he has at this point. That's really awesome. I haven't read everything Philip K. Dick, but I have covered quite a lot of it on the channel. If you haven't already, Deb does fantastic science fiction reviews as well. Her channel is linked in the description, and there's a lot of people in the comments here that also have great channels. Andrea at Infinite Text, and Jake at Pulp Mortem, Scott at Die Woodward. I forgot what your channel. Now I know your name, and I can't remember your channel name. Lots of great sci-fi booktubers here that you can discover. Not a lot of Thanksgiving stories. No. Traditionally in Victorian England, Christmas was all about ghost stories, and we inherited a lot of that. That's what I was wondering. Okay.
I wonder, in hindsight, is it because Christmas, Yule is kind of the dying of the year? Could that have been the origin? Well, at some stage, maybe.
Yeah, and I think having to stay in the house and the cold, and it's a spookier time. I think, like you said, it's really hard to be in the middle of summer going to the beach and have ghost story thoughts. You're right. I think you're right. Seems like the Maurier should have some tempestuous beach ghost stories, right? Jamaica Inn.
De Moria probably does. I haven't found them, but
yeah,
they could do that.
Yeah. But now it's very international multicultural experience. Todgerson. Yeah, we already name dropped Todgerson once in this chat. PKD is absolutely essential. Agreed. It's weird because when I first started the channel and I read, I right before I started the channel, I read for the first time Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and I absolutely loved it. I'm one of these people that like it more than the movie, but I didn't really love that movie as much as everybody else did growing up. That's what's going to get me in trouble now. But I loved the book, and then I read the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch and was just blown away. That is one of the weirdest books, but also one of the most fun weird books I've ever read. Absolutely incredible. And then I think I read Ubik and discussed that on the channel. And then what's the one I did recently? Oh, I can't remember. It's not one of his more well-known ones. It's a little bit more of a deeper cut. Yeah, my problem is I just want to read through every one of Dick's books in a row, and I think that's a bad idea. So I'm really taking my time with Dick and Lem and just reading like one or two a year, and eventually I'll get the I don't make Dick jokes. I got to stop. All right, never mind.
Controversial opinion, not a huge Dick fan.
Oh
Specifically
man.
Philip K. I think his short stories and novellas are excellent. I really like his Do Androids Dream. I think it's brilliant, and I can completely compartmentalize Blade Runner and that because I feel like comparing them doesn't serve either the movie, which I adore, or the story or the novella, which is great. I don't think it serves either of them well because they really are two such different entities. They do something completely different.
Right.
I think that
Yes.
poor old Philip K got a whole novel length to himself. He would go off the rails.
Yay. And
And
I
I
love
don't
it.
always love the strange rails he goes off into. Valis, for example, was a DNF for me. It's
I
still
haven't
on
read
that
that.
shelf. It's
I
still on
can't.
that shelf. I'm going to keep trying, but so far I just can't get past what's his name, Big Horse Dick or whatever. I can't.
We're gonna get demonetized just by talking about Philip K.
I'm going to
Dick.
be excommunicated by time. I know I am.
Yeah, I can't go with you on that one, Deb. But so far, I love his long stuff. I really, really do. Um, let's see. Same here, Chris. They can come for me too. Loved Blade Runner 2049 though. Yeah, I did too. I really thought 2049 was great. And I'm not gonna lie, like Rutger Hauer delivering that monologue at the end of Blade Runner. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful moments in film. I never cared for the rest of the movie as much as everybody else did. No, my big super secret that's going to get me in big trouble on BookTube is that I am not a huge fan of cyberpunk. That is not what I look for in my science fiction. Cyberpunk, and I don't know if it was because I grew up in the 90s and everybody loved cyberpunk and they were all like wearing black trench coats and calling themselves hackers. I just
Wow.
the
Okay.
the 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 novels to me feel and the movies feel very stuffy. Like I don't find any beauty in them. I find only dirty, hopeless scenes. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't like cyberpunk. I don't care for
Okay,
it.
I can't agree with you on that one.
Okay.
William Gibson is a god amongst my pantheon. I
Yeah.
love all of the William Gibsons without exception. Some more than others, but I read and reread them. Who's the other one? Vacuum Flowers. Who wrote Vacuum Flowers? Swanwick.
And it,
And the Morgan books. I like this. I like the cyberpunks a lot. However, steampunk is my anathema. I absolutely cannot bear them.
I don't
Which is
really care much for steampunk either, which is funny because my daughter loves it. She absolutely loves it. All right, there's some questions coming at you. You guys, please don't kill me for not liking cyberpunk. So here's Virgil. What's up, Virgil? Wish I could be here, but we're watching MASH at the hospital right now. I'm glad they got MASH going. Chris leveraged Deb to come back again so we can all chat. Absolutely.
absolutely
Yeah.
anytime.
Yep. I hope everything's going good for you there, Virgil and Angie. Real question for Deb. This is super serious. What haven't you read?
Oh, yeah. See, Jake has got this little joke going over in Pulp Mortem that I've read everything, and he'll show this enormous haul because Jake does hauls like no one else, like 5,000 boxes full of classic science fiction and fantasy. And out of 3 boxes, I go, "Oh, I've read that one book," and he goes, "You've read everything." I just,
But Deb, you've read a lot.
yeah,
You really are one heck of a reader. Do you read a ton? Like is that what
yes.
a large chunk of your day is reading?
No, actually, I work full time,
Yeah.
sometimes more than full time. I spend a lot of time on the beaches. I do a lot of things, but I do read very fast. I got this vague theory that I maybe taught myself or learnt to speed read in my teens accidentally. It doesn't work for nonfiction. So at work, I'm an average length speed of reader. But when it comes to fiction, I read very, very fast. And I'm pretty sure that's some sort of personally evolved speed reading.
Huh.
And the other thing is, I don't have a television. I don't watch
Awesome.
television. So
Awesome.
any moment of your day when you are watching television, just imagine if you were reading instead, and you're probably closer. Like after dinner in the evening, if nothing's happening, I'll be sitting on the sofa with a book and I'll be reading.
That's
Or
awesome.
or on YouTube watching other people read. And I have to say, YouTube has cut down into my reading time in a big way. BookTube specifically.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Deb and I I pulled my book, and look at that. Ever read Philip Jose Farmer's World? Oh no, this is the wrong one. World of Tears is the other one. No, I haven't read World of Tears. I read this one, with Deb. Have you read World of Tears?
The second one? No, it isn't.
No. World of Tears is a different series by Philip Jose Farmer.
Oh.
It's not the same as whatever this is. What is this called? Riverworld. It's not Riverworld. Yeah.
World of Tears.
See, there you go. Boom. Something Deb hasn't read.
That I remember. I also have a notoriously terrible memory.
I didn't know you were a marine biologist.
Well, I did the degree. It was a long time ago, and I work in medical adjacent science these days.
That's so cool. All I remember is one day you were like, hey, I'm not going to be able to get a hold of you. I'm going to this island. And then you sent me a picture of this beautiful island with like ruined boats falling apart on the shores of this island. And I was just in awe. I still look up that island every now and again.
That would be either Stradbroke Island. Yes, probably. Oh, no, that would be Morton Island.
Morton.
So one of the things, Morton Island. There's a resort there called Tangalooma, actually. It's a great resort. You've got wild dolphins that come in the beach and they let you feed them sometimes. But those boats are wrecked to create this beautiful natural reef that you can dive or snorkel. Yes, I was there for a beach cleanup. There's an organization called Ocean Crusaders in Australia and in Sweden. And basically, it's 90% volunteers, so it's a non-government organization, but they've got the trucks and the hoists and the big boats custom built, and we go out into ocean areas, islands, mangroves, and rivers and so forth, and we clear garbage out of them. So,
and it's called Morgan Island.
That one is Morton.
Morton, yeah.
Morton.
Yeah, look it up, guys. Just look it up on Google image search. You'll be blown away. Deb's just like, oh, this is what I'm doing today. And I was like, okay, wow. I am not doing that. I'm going to a school. I like your job. That's awesome.
Oh, that's not a job. That's a volunteer.
That's volunteer.
Yeah.
World of Tears is a 2-book omnibus, 5 books. Yeah, I'll be honest. I had hardback copies of them and I've set them aside. Because from what I can tell, they might not be for me. I did enjoy this, and a lot of people say this is the much better Philip Jose Farmer books to read. Don't marine biologists obsessed with fiction end up worshiping some idol of chaos?
It doesn't sound like a poor outcome, but... Oh, wait. Idol of Chaos. I know where you're going with that. Some Christmas, I got this for Secret Santa, so I guess they knew me.
There's your Idol of Chaos right there. And I'm sure that's what Mecha Gogeta is talking about. The Matrix book ripped off. You just made Andrea's whole day. She likes the Cthulhu stuff.
I always see Andrea's in the background. They're cool.
Yeah. The Matrix book ripped off part of the river world where the people were stacked in pods. That's interesting. You're right. The very first scene in the river world is all of them stacked in pods in space. And they're not supposed to wake up, but what's his name? The guy that translated what's the main character in that? Deb, I can't remember.
Neo?
Not the Matrix, the River World.
Oh,
And the
Burton.
River. Burton, yes.
Burton.
Yeah, Richard Burton wakes up and sees all of humanity stacked like that. That's interesting. I guess that could be a ripoff. I didn't.
Because I remember when we were talking about it for the buddy read, Chris, you and I talked about whether Matrix got it from there or whether they both got it from somewhere else.
You're
or,
right.
Yeah.
You're right. We did. Yeah.
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 Didn't have any conclusions there.
Yeah, because I talked about The Man Who Awoke, which is one of my favorite books, and that one has Matrix style stuff that was written in the early 30s. All humans connected to a machine that gives them good dreams. That I haven't found anything earlier than that. Although The Machine Stops is close by E.M. Forrester, which is so good. Really
I've
good.
been looking for that one for a while too. I haven't
Oh,
found
man. It might be on. Oh, but you don't like to read on the computer, and that makes sense.
No.
Yeah, I liked it. I think that for me, it had some problems that drug it down a little bit, but I really did like it. I think Deb and I had a lot of fun talking about and reading that one.
And I've since read the second one and reviewed it. And I didn't mind the second one. It had an accumulation of problems. It had more problems than To Your Scattered Bodies Go. But overall, it had some really cool notions as well that I did enjoy. So I read that one, enjoyed it, The Fabulous Riverboat. I haven't gone on to the third one yet, but I do plan to.
Yeah. Somebody's saying Ariane Fowler. I know I've seen your name before, Ariane. I think I did this last time when you were on the thread. Tried to figure out how to say your name. I found The Machine Stops in an anthology, but I can't recall which one. It is fantastic. Absolutely. One of the most prophetic books I've ever read. Just incredible. Good artist copy, great artist steal. The transfer of consciousness to new bodies and altered carbon is a dead ringer for the process in Lord of Light. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Yes.
I mean, yeah. I'm Team Terry Pratchett when it comes to that. It's like someone tried to go to Terry Pratchett and get him all riled up over the fact that someone else had used a character from the Discworld novels in their series, and they were copying from him and everything. And Pratchett just said, well, these common themes, they're not really owned by someone. Some boy in a wizarding school with glasses and dark hair. It's a fairly basic human concept, and a wizarding school is not a new concept, and you can't really say that everyone who writes something that has previously appeared is stolen. It doesn't work.
Well, I had a knee jerk reaction when I read A Wizard of Earthsea. My knee jerk reaction was, holy crap, J.K. Rowling stole all of Harry Potter from Earthsea. And that isn't really the case. The idea of kids in wizarding school, like you said, is a good example. Yeah.
Eternal. And I know someone who had the exact same reaction to J.K. Rowling, only they were talking about Artemis Fowl, of whom I've only read one book.
Right.
But they would get truly passionate about the fact that she stole everything, including the main character, from this series of books. And I actually read the first Artemis Fowl, in order to find out what he was getting so riled up about, and I just can't see it.
I thought Artemis Fowl was a spy or something.
Well, that's it. But there's a whole magical universe side by side with the real universe. I think that's where he was coming from there. I never quite got it. And the thing is, there's another one as well. And I say this because I recently wrote a short story just for the hell of it. And at the end of it, it's like, wow, this is such a cool concept. It can't be mine. Someone else must have done this. I can't remember who, I can't remember when, but someone else must have already done this concept. And they probably have. I don't remember it, so I'm not stealing it. I'm racking my brains, but I can't pinpoint it.
So Paul McCartney, when he wrote Yesterday, for like the first year of its existence, thought he had ripped it off. And he was terrified that somebody was going to come forward because he's like, I don't think I wrote this. I think this is something that I heard, but it's nobody's ever find it. All right, Tim's late. Welcome.
You missed everything.
Deb has a degree in marine biology. She lives in Queensland, something Gold Coast, something South Wales. She works in a medical adjacent science field, and her bird is named after something in the Narnia series.
Repeat cheap.
Boom. There we go. See?
Well done.
I'm paying attention. I know what's going on. Metal Addict number 1. Yeah, I don't think I've seen you here. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you caught us. And Team Terry Pratchett is the right team. I'm surprised no one has come up with a Hogwarts type of school for time travelers. Oh, there you go. Captain Finity, there's a plot for you.
There is actually.
Matt.
Sorry.
All these authors stole the idea of writing stuff down from ancient Samaria.
Yes,
Go ahead, Deb.
Yes. There is actually a couple of time travel academies.
Oh,
Just saying. There's a couple.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Brian at Bad Taste Books was doing a series that was based in a time travel universe made by Robert Silverberg, I believe.
Oh,
I don't think Brian's on here, but yeah, I think there might be. I think those might exist. All these words.
The Simon Hawke ones, but I know there's at least one other one.
Yeah. All these words have been plagiarized. I think you all read the dictionary. I tried to write a new alphabet, but no one knew what the hell I was trying to say, right? I have an idea for a plot, says Jake. Already read it, says Deb. You're just proving Jake's point here, Deb. Hey, by the way, this is Mecha Gogeta is how I know him. Hey, by the way, marine bio was my favorite class in high school. We went to estuaries all over New England, and it rules. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Estuaries is just fascinating.
I don't have a strong relationship with the ocean. I don't know what to do with it. Me and the ocean just kind of stare at each other whenever I see it. It confuses me. I guess I'm a desert kid at heart. I just don't like I'm afraid to get in it, and I'm afraid to get on it. But those pictures of that island, man, I would go visit that any day. Those were beautiful.
Sure, come to Australia. We'll go.
All right, perfect.
People love it.
Yeah, well, those pictures you sent me were just insanely beautiful. The sea was angry that day, my friends. Let's see.
I personally love deserts and I love oceans. The bit in between those two, cities sometimes not. Forests sometimes not. But those two I feel are very close.
Yeah. The image of Chris staring at the ocean with a perplexed expression is cracking me up. You need to get that?
That's a bird.
Yeah, get him.
Come on.
You have to imagine it with the ocean staring back at me, though, Jake.
Solaris.
Yes, there we go.
What face is it using to stare back at you?
Yeah. The academy where immortals in Cage Baker's Company's series study could be considered a time travel academy, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a boarding school for parallel dimension kids like Alice in Wonderland and such called Wayward Children by Sean and McGuire. Wow, that sounds interesting.
I would reread that one.
I know, Andrea. I've kept this secret from you as long as I can. But yeah, the ocean is like my ex-wife was the same way. Whenever we tried to figure out where we were going to travel, it was very difficult to make decisions because she always wanted the ocean and I always wanted more inland. The ocean is about an hour from me, and I try to get to it as often as I can. Yeah. I think you're in California, right, Scott? Yeah. Deb, have you read Galapagos by Vonnegut? I may be in the minority, but I loved that one.
I think I read that in the 90s, and I no longer own it. Was it out in the 90s?
Vonnegut, I'm sure.
I think I have, but I think it's long enough ago that if I got my hands on it, I could read it with very little memory attached, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never read that one. On our current course, Say again.
Because the Galapagos, of course, are like,
yeah. On our current course, 90% of those beautiful tropical corals will disappear before the end of the century.
Yep.
Yep.
Too true. Which is why the ocean needs all the help it can.
Yeah, and me staring at it isn't helping. God. Same here. The ocean scares me so much. Yeah, it freaks me out. But it's funny because if they made space tourism a thing, I'd go into space, which is just the ocean. Even less. There's way less there. But yeah, the space should scare me as much as the ocean for the same reason, but it doesn't.
I think a fear of the ocean is a perfectly reasonable attitude to someone who doesn't know how to deal with it.
I don't know how to deal with it.
Mesh, they screamed as they tore into my flesh. Sorry, Tim. I just love the back of that book.
It's a great back of the book.
The ocean is scary, and you need to approach it with care, much like space. I too would go into space. What I wouldn't do is I wouldn't leap out the airlock blithely, not wearing a spacesuit.
Right.
And people get drowned in Australia every year because they come from countries or cultures where they don't swim much, and they go leaping into the ocean in a frolicsome attitude, unaware of riptides.
Yeah.
All the problems that ocean. So having a healthy respect for it is a really good survival tactic.
Yeah. I've just not ever been around it. It scares me. Yeah. Let's see. Damn, this coast life rules. Okay. So if I remember right, if I'm thinking of the right person, oh God, Mecha Gogeta, you're from Maine. Is that correct? I think Mecha Gogeta is from Maine. How long to drive to an ocean for you? Over 10 hours, no matter which direction I chose to go.
Wow.
Yeah, because I could go California, but that would be like 16 to 18 hours from Albuquerque, or I could go to the Gulf, but Houston's like 8 or 9 hours away. So yeah, I think either the Gulf of Mexico or California's the closest to me, and that's it.
So this is a total humble brag. I can walk to the beach in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Boom.
I can walk to the Mesa in 10 minutes.
Hey, that works too.
I have tumbleweeds.
And you've got those amazing cacti that I read about in some books.
We don't. Saguaro cactuses are you can find a lot of them in Arizona, but New Mexico doesn't have any real saguaro cactuses, unfortunately. Yeah, people freaking love saguaro cactuses. Hot take: the best Vonnegut is Mother Night. You know what? Vonnegut is somebody that I need. I think I read Cat's Cradle. I read something of Vonnegut's back in grad school. I don't really remember much of it at all. I think Vonnegut is somebody I need to bring onto this, that I need to read for this channel. Everyone should just ask Deb if she's read random books, and I'll be willing to bet she'll get 90%.
Okay, one day, that's your live stream, Jake. What do I win if I lose?
Yeah, there you go. Sharks don't surprise you in space. That's true.
They don't surprise me in the ocean very often either.
They would surprise me. I taste good, I think.
No, you don't. They really don't like the taste of us.
Yeah, it's funny because when Jaws came out, my uncle gave me a first edition copy of the book, and
Peter
I kind
Blenchley.
yeah, Benchley, yeah, that's right. I followed a little bit his career, and it's interesting how much it hurt him that he started such a backlash against sharks.
Mm-hmm.
He worked really hard to try to change people's opinions.
Yep.
Many of them taken from Jaws, about how much sharks really don't care about humans.
Hold that thought. I'm going to jump up for a book.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
This is going to be a new theme. Deb stands up and clash. Deb just made my day. I don't remember what you're responding to now, but I'm glad. What did science fiction retroactivists look up? If I have seen further than other men, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. Isaac Asimov used this concept, and the quote appears in his writing, for example, in the book. Oh, hold on. Let me move this. Let me make you big here.
Okay. This is another nonfiction. So Ron and Valerie Taylor are two absolute icons of Australia. They were the ones that first trialed scuba diving. They were the first ones in Australia to wear wetsuits. They had to sew their own. They had to order in the stuff. And
Really?
the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because they were hired as consultants for Jaws, because they didn't know how to make a shark look real. And so Ron and Valerie Taylor were a huge part of that movie. They helped create the shark, which when I first saw that movie as a teenager, I was terrified. I didn't go into the ocean for about 2 years.
So scary. Oh my God.
I couldn't even swim in the swimming pool at night. I knew there was no shark in there, but I still couldn't.
Just that image of, and I'm sure they just had somebody under the water that pulled on her leg, but seeing that dip and imagining what was going on under there, brilliant. So scary, dude. Oh man. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, Valerie Taylor especially, and Ron Taylor as well, like Peter Benchley, spent the rest of their lives trying to atone for all the damage that they've done to sharks' reputation, for people killing them everywhere, for sending them many species extinct or near to extinction. If you want to read a non-fiction autobiography, An Adventurous Life by Valerie Taylor.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I didn't even know that. That's really cool. Nailed it.
Yes.
I can drive from one sea to another in about an hour. Wow. Scotland, right, Sephiros? One sea to another. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Maine coast is mind-blowing. Spent a summer working on a bird conservation in the Gulf of Maine, living in the seabird colonies. Wow.
Somewhat smelly, but so cool.
Yeah. Does Mediterranean Sea count as an ocean?
Absolutely. I mean, I know it's technically a sea, but it's a sea with such an individual character and so much happening there. I'll go with ocean.
Okay, wait then. All right. What about the Great Salt Lake? Which is,
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
It's a salt lake in the middle of Utah. A big ass salt lake. Isn't the Dead Sea also a lake?
I've been to the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is a lake. It doesn't have a connection to the ocean. So it's not really a sea per se and as such.
Okay. Interesting. This is
I don't think I'd count any lake actually isolated. If the Great Salt Lake is completely isolated.
Super isolated.
Okay, we've got some salt lakes in Australia as well. Some of them are seasonal. If it's not connected, then I probably wouldn't count it sea as ocean. Lots of marine biologists are probably screaming in their graves now. But the Mediterranean Sea is connected to the Atlantic Ocean through the Straits of Gibraltar. So it's a small opening, and there's issues about that, but it's not detached from the greater ocean.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Okay.
In my head, it does.
Okay. Well, you're the expert.
No, I'm really not. I haven't worked in the field.
Jake can walk to the interstate in 10 minutes. And let me tell you, I've been there and he's right. He's not lying. Ever see a UFO in the desert? I've seen lots of strange lights in the desert. That's as far as I will go. Plus, I've been to Roswell, which is really fun.
I'd love to go there.
Oh, here's what you win, Andrea. In Jake's game, you win books you don't need.
Yes, I'm in.
Rob says, a shark in space would totally surprise me. I think there's a Rick and
That would be a
Morty.
good book.
I think there's a Rick and Morty where there's a snake in space, and Morty is surprised, and Rick keeps saying space has everything, so he should not be surprised by anything being in space. All right. I haven't read. Oh, Slaughterhouse 5 is the one that I read in school. Yes.
I've read Slaughterhouse 5. I may have read Galapagos. I think I read one other one that I found in the wild once when I was traveling.
Sirens of Titan, I know.
I haven't read any for a long time, and I don't own any, so if I can't reread it,
the
memory.
Yeah, Rob, how's Miss Space Archive? Oh, Miss L Space. Mrs. L Space. God. Yeah. I've seen some comments from Mrs. L Space, and that's awesome. Both great. I would recommend Timequake after those 3. Okay, good. I can get to the ocean in about 8.5 hours. I like the coast, but I prefer stay on the land. But I love novels set on ships. Yeah. Timequake and Mother Night. Got it. I saw a documentary on Ron and Valerie Taylor. Oh, I saw a documentary Ron and Valerie Taylor did in the theater when I was a kid. Yeah, a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, they had some excellent documentaries.
If it is not sci-fi at all, it's just a great story based in some sort of reality.
Okay.
I lost what we're talking about.
Timescape, I believe it's Timescape.
Oh. I love seeing clipper ships and artwork on film. Something thrilling about them. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have the bug. I can walk to the pool in 2 minutes. There's some river floats down here, but no beaches, thankfully. The sea terrifies me, and that was before Lovecraft. Plymouth, Massachusetts is
reef. Devil's Reef.
Oh, Devil's Reef
in Lovecraft.
Oh, what did Lovecraft do? He did the. There's the weird town by the. Andrea, help us.
The weird town that the grad student who's traveling around.
Yeah.
In, and then there's, I think it's Devil's Reef offshore, and all the people are weird. And
come on, guys. I'm leaving. It's a xenophobic book. Yes, Innsmouth. Thank you. God. Yeah. All right. So it looks like Yuval Langer was first, followed by Andrea, followed by Josh. This suddenly became a trivia show. Shadow over Innsmouth. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Andrea wants to ask questions. Well, she wants to know if she's allowed. Are we allowed to ask Deb questions like, how did you get into marine biology? Backstory. Deb Lord.
Backstory. Okay. Backstory is that I wasn't a very compliant teenager, and I never actually graduated from school. When most people graduate from school, I was off doing something probably very silly or possibly very smart. I don't know. Anyway, after several years of traveling around Australia, I decided to stay put, and I looked at getting an apprenticeship. In order for an apprenticeship, I needed a year 10. I didn't even have a year 10 certificate, let alone a year 12 certificate. So it was suggested I go back to TAFE, which is a thing we have here, to do a high school certificate. I did that. And I'm going to tell you, I was terrified. I was suffering from imposter syndrome. I thought every second someone was going to tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, you're not smart enough to be here, go away.
Yeah.
Turns out I really loved studying. I loved studying so much. I kept going. I never got the apprenticeship, and I went on to uni. The thing I liked studying the most was science, because I like clear answers. It's like, I like clear answers, essentially. And of all the types of science that I liked, marine biology just happened to be the one that I was enjoying the most. And also, I wasn't too bad at it. I'm terrible at physics, and my maths would make a monkey laugh.
I think you and I were very similar as teenagers. If I understood all those words you just said, I think the equivalent is I dropped out in 10th grade and got my GED. Which is exactly what I did. I didn't finish high school. I left in 10th grade and then tested out by doing the GED, which is the test that gives you an equivalent of a high school diploma. And
Yes.
and I was a terrible student, and I thought I would never be good at school. And then when I returned, and I finally went to college when I was in my 20s, non-traditional student, I soared. I absolutely love it. I mean, it was so different than the crap that was, elementary school, middle school, and high school. I hated it. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Degree.
Yeah, even the grade is similar.
I don't think I dropped out in year 10. I think I was enrolled in school. I just never bothered to turn up. I remember at the end of one year, probably when I was about 15 or 16, I realized that the home class that I was meant to belong to that year, I'd only stepped foot in it once.
Right. Yeah.
So no. I just went to the library, got books, and read them.
Yep. I love libraries.
And did other things, but
yeah. In Swan Song, they go to the Salt Lake to use it to help with the radiation. They do. I like that part of Swan Song quite a lot, just because I've spent a lot of time around Salt Lake. Speaking of stinky lakes, and if you go in, you float. The saline, is that what they call it? Content is high enough that you can't sink in the Great Salt Lake. You float.
That's the same with the Dead Sea. In the Dead Sea, when I was there as a teenager, they said, don't go in if you've got any cuts because it will smart like you wouldn't believe, which
yes.
it did, because I ignored them and I did that. But yeah, again, you can't actually force yourself down.
Did you come out chalky white? When we come out of the Salt Lake, you get chalky white. It's crazy. And the
salt crystals.
Yeah, it's really wild. Okay, I don't know. Deep Ashtrays talk about something here. The seabirds are very accurate when they poop, which they do as a defensive mechanism. Still feel that warm trickle between the shoulder blades. Good memories. What
bird does that? There's a bird in the North United Kingdom, Hebrides, I think. It actually vomits on you as a defensive mechanism.
Ew.
I find that very funny for some reason.
It's Jeff. I think Jeff's closer to your time than I am. Hey, Chris and Deb and everybody. Sorry at work now. Teaching a class, so can't stay. We'll catch the rest later. Sounds good, Jeff. Yeah, I think that his long break is coming up. Matt says you might like The Scar by China Miéville. Weird fiction set on a floating ocean city. Half crayfish, humanoids, biomodified amphibian people.
I haven't read that one. I've only read one, China Miéville. I wasn't a fan, but I think it came out of nowhere for me. I can't remember which one, but if I find that one, I'll check it out.
Jeff ought to invite the class to chat. That'd be hilarious. A bunch of Japanese kids watching us do crazy chats all over the world. All right. I really like Kurt Vonnegut's short story, Harrison Bergeron. As per usual, at this time, I got to be dad and go hang with my son and read to him until next time. Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping in. Yes, there you go. Good enough diploma.
Okay.
I also graduated early with my GED so that I could get into construction. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah, I just stopped going like you, Deb. Like my 10th grade year, I probably went 1 or 2 days, and then halfway through it was like, dude, you're done. You're out. College and university are more than memorization and regurgitation, which automatically makes it more interesting. You're right. Like I thought I was a terrible student. I thought school was not for me. Going back to college scared the shit out of me. It really did. It really did. The closest thing I got to a keyboard right now is an old pump organ. Oh, you got a feather.
Yes.
I could jam some pump organ.
Yeah, it's funny how many people who actually don't like school and leave it because they are having their individuality quashed, or that you end up with the wrong teacher. That's the thing that's very important. The right teacher, the wrong teacher, it can make a huge difference. And they go off and they have a life, and then they go, hey, I actually do like this thing and I can do this thing, and they come back to it.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Anybody that has any questions for Deb, please ask them in the comments now. I'm going to ask Deb some questions, but they're going to be really Australian stereotypical questions. Are you okay with that, Deb? If I break Australian stereotypes here and see if they're true, just because these are things that I randomly think about when I think about Australia. Stereotype: are kangaroos like mean, evil bastards, or do they box and punch dogs and?
They're not mean animals. Should you ever come to Australia, there's a number of sanctuaries around. They're actually very lazy. It's a bit like lions. Lions got this reputation for always roaring and charging at you, but what they really want to do is lie in the shade and snooze. Kangaroos spend a lot of the day lying in the shade and snoozing, and they can make moderately good pets. They're very friendly. Sanctuaries will have a whole heap just wandering around. You can wander up to them and feed them or pat them or whatever. I don't know where the boxing kangaroo thing came from.
Yeah.
That's not actually how they fight. Usually, they do have the two hands. So if they come, no, they can't do this. They've got arms that go like this. They don't have the ability to do this at all.
But they kick, don't they?
Yes, their hind paws have got quite large claws, and they can actually rip the viscera out of an attacker.
I've heard that, yeah.
But that would very rarely be a human. Kangaroos are victims of humans far more often than humans are victims of kangaroos. But that is their defensive mechanism in the wild. And so if you've got a dog that's heading toward it, in 90 to 95% of the cases, there's going to be a dead kangaroo the next day. But if the kangaroo is very large and very lucky, it might be able to rip a dog's viscera. I think they're not nasty. They're actually very, very mild-mannered most of the time. A couple of exceptions would be we've got two species of kangaroo that are really very large, the big red and the big grey. Australians don't necessarily have huge creativity with names here. I've stood next to big reds that are taller than me. I'm not very tall. And it's a big, very muscular animal. If you've ever seen one of those pictures of a kangaroo and it's got more than a six-pack, that can be true with the large ones. So they can be dangerous. They're a wild animal. Don't do stupid things. Don't try to prod it. Don't treat it.
Take a selfie with it.
Unadvised. Unless you're in a sanctuary where they're used to it.
That's what people keep doing in Yellowstone. They get out of their damn cars and try to take selfies with the buffalo.
Yes.
Okay, so that was my stereotype of Australia question number 1. Infinite Text has a much better question. Andrea does. Top 3 favorite genres and favorite books in each genre of the 3.
I don't have another 3 hours for this video. Sorry. So classic fantasy and science fiction have been my favorite since I was a kid. I'm not sure if that's one genre or 2 genres. By now, it's probably 15 genres.
Right.
I'm very fond of some literature, English literature, I'm going to say, over other types of literature. But not all of it. I've read a fair bit of it. I guess that would be a genre. And at the end of the day, I think I'm going to say I read a lot of popular science nonfiction. So those are probably, oh my goodness, come on. In popular science nonfiction, I think my favorite book might be King Solomon's Ring by Conrad Lorenz. It was one of the first 2 books that were ever written about animal behavior or ethnology. It is a fantastic little book. One day I'll recommend.
Wow, I've never heard of it.
It's niche. I've got more than one copy of that one because it's one of those ones you go into the wild, you see a copy, and you buy it because you don't want to risk it being maltreated.
I do that with Rachel Carson. What was her first book? I've had 3 or 4 copies of it. And, Silent Spring. If I ever see a Silent Spring.
I don't think the Silent Spring was her first. She's got 3, and I won't leap up again because of the crashing noises. But
I like the crashing noises.
Okay, you said it.
Damn it, Jake. Oh my gosh. We're now getting Rachel Carson. Okay.
So Rachel Carson actually wrote Under the Sea, Wind, The Edge of the Sea, and these are my very old, very beloved paperbacks. I also have a reading copy with both of them in one. And I don't remember when these were released, but I think they were before The Silent Spring. I think she wrote The Silent Spring in response to all these things that she loved being under threat. So copyright 1964, The Edge of the Sea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 71 or something, or in the 70s at least, is the Silent Spring.
And Under the Sea, Wind was also 64. So the Silent Spring was later, and it's more contemporary.
Okay.
These are pure love song to the ocean. Come on. No, we're not going to.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. So those are a couple. Science fiction and fantasy. I think it's one of those questions. My favorite book is often the one I'm rereading at the time.
Yeah.
And within science fiction, you've got the kids' science fiction and fantasy. Some of those are amazing. They're the ones that I read when I was a kid. You've got ones that I loved when I first read them and have dated, like a lot of Heinlein has dated quite acutely, but I still remember the joy of first reading it.
Yeah.
Fritz Leiber's, or is it Lieber? The
Leiber.
Green Millennium. Leiber.
I love that book. Oh, man, that's a good book.
I've been rereading that one since I was about 12, and it never grows old.
Oh, it's so good. If you guys haven't read The Green Millennium, it is absolutely worth it. I wonder if I can get it. I'm going to go get that really quick.
Okay. So in literature...
Here. Oh, yeah, keep going.
In literature, Far From the Maddening Crowd really, really hit me in the feels strongly, and I've reread that one quite often. And I'm going to go for the stereotype here, Pride and Prejudice. I would read anything that Jane Austen ever wrote, but Pride and Prejudice is definitely my favorite of hers. So that's a couple from each genre. What's another one? I recently read E.M. Forster for the first time, and I was really impressed by that, back in literature for there. I don't know, something from up here. I can see the chat. Is there a response from you, Andrea, on that one? Oh, Life After Life. I've read that. I have not read Z for Zachariah by Robert C. O'Brien. I'm 99% certain of that.
Yeah. This is a copy I have of The Green Millennium. It's one of these doubles.
Oh, yes, the Ace doubles.
Yeah, it's got a Night Monsters on the back.
Nice.
And then the Green Millennium on the front. And this is... Like sometimes Liber doesn't work. I said Liber. Sometimes Liber doesn't work. Some of his stuff can go over the top, but when he's on, he is on.
I absolutely loved Fafard and the Grey Mouser when I first read it. I tried to reread it about 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't do so well, but I think that I just wasn't in a swords and sorcery mentality, so I need to try that again.
Yeah, Tim says they're wonderful.
Mm.
Did you ever read John Keel's The Eighth Tower?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it. And Jake called me a racist. I'm telling you, the best way to learn about people is to ask them about the stereotypes, man. Seriously. I think that
prawns, mate. Prawns.
not shrimps, prawns.
No.
Oh,
no shrimps.
Ever seen a dingo?
Yes, I've seen plenty of dingoes.
Do you have a spider in your shoes?
Not at present. But I did have a huntsman that was about so big, crushed under my wardrobe, which is a shame. I like huntsmen.
Wow. Yeah, I get big bugs out here too. So, and I don't like, I don't hurt them. If they're in the house, they got to go outside, and unless they're like black widows and stuff, we get a lot of those. Those unfortunately can't live. Not with my kid running around outside and all that kind of stuff. Wow, people are just going full hog. Look what I started, Deb. Sorry.
Yes, I don't know him personally. I mean, I don't have a cup of tea with him every weekend, but I have watched Crocodile Dundee. Do I know Hogan himself? No, I believe he lives in America these days anyway.
Yeah, that's all I remember is That's Not a Knife, This Is a Knife. Like that was huge over here. Those movies did so good. So cartoons lied to us about kangaroos. Yes.
They may not have told the entire truth.
Yeah. I have a question for Deb. I'd like to have her opinion about Bruce Chatwin's The Song Lines.
And I would love to give it to you, but I don't believe I've read it. Jake, I'm blaming you. I haven't read it.
Yeah, Jake.
But I will write it down on my to read. Bruce
Chatwin, The Song Lines. Oh, this next question is super good. From Ariane.
Yes.
It is. Does Deb have a favorite Australian author?
Ha ha ha.
Deb just sent me.
Why they didn't invite me to the video about can you pull out a book that no one's talking about on the internet? So let's talk about Anthony Eaton and the Darklands trilogy, which is, in my opinion, one of the best dystopias out there, and which no one is talking about on the internet because nobody except a few Australians, and mostly in West Australia, have heard about them. This is a fantastic trilogy.
Wow. I have never heard of it. Wow.
Yay, Australia. Okay, so Terry Dowling wrote a whole heap of books, including Wormwood, which is short stories, and Rhinoceros and Twilight Beach. They are magnificent science fiction fantasy, but they are so new age experimental that a lot of people don't know how to take them. In principle, I'm going to say Terry Dowling is a favorite author because what he's done in those books is amazing. On the other hand, Anthony Eaton has written these beautiful books that are very, very easy to read and which I adore. There is another one called Tim Winton, who writes... This is one of his earlier and more famous Australian books called Cloud Street. It has dated a little bit, but he also lives in West Australia, coincidentally, I suppose. He writes some really beautiful prose that is not science fiction, and many of them are set by the ocean. So maybe not for you, Chris. Okay, Cloud Street was a 90s book. It's a bit of a chunker. I'd have to say that Winton is probably a favorite author. If you're looking for romance books, which I'm usually not, to be honest, but if you like those there's this trend in romance where they get a theme, like a band or a pub, and then they slowly match off every single person in the place. There's an Australian author called Kylie Scott who does that very, very well. It's a long time since I've read any of her books, but I really liked her writing. And she also does some really strange zombie books. The first one is excellent. The second one needs content warnings. But yeah, Kylie Scott for romance. There are many, many others. And like I said, I don't have 3 hours.
Deb is winning the obscure books trend and leading Dino November. Deb, you just sent me a book that looks really interesting. Will you tell me a little bit about it?
Okay. Randolph Stowe, Tourmaline.
And this is an Australian author, right?
Yes. It's an again, West Australia. What is it with West Australia? I've just realised. He was born in West Australia in one of those really remote northern regions. I think it might have been the Kimberleys, which won't mean much to anyone who's an Australian, but quite remote. And he started, I think he was he might have been a missionary or a teacher in one of the remote communities up there, which not many people would get to. And then in the 60s, he moved to England. And most of his writing career, he's actually lived in England. So these days, he's probably more of a British author. But in this early stage in Tourmaline, he was still an Australian. The cover art is by Robert Juniper, and it's stunning. I would hang that on my wall. It's a strange book, and I sent it to Chris because liminal spaces, right? This is a very liminal book. Over the years that I've been reading it and rereading it and loving it, I recommend it to any number of people, and they mostly don't quite know what to make of it. It is kind of science fiction, but at times it feels like it isn't science fiction. And it's in this very remote, dry area. This man appears out of nowhere, this tiny little town that will be really familiar to anyone who's ever been outback Australia. And he puts the whole place on its head, confuses everything. But a note from the author in the beginning, it says, the action of this novel is to be imagined as taking place in the future. And it was first published in first draft in 1961. It's very odd.
This sounds great. I'm really excited. It's on my TBR.
Read it and tell me. Yes.
Yeah, it's on the TBR. It sounds really fun. Okay, let's see what I missed here. Almost everything I know about Australia, I learned from the poetry and stories of Banjo Paterson.
Patterson, yes.
Patterson, okay. Oh, yeah, that one T threw me off. They are prawns, not shrimps. Take deep breaths and try to calm down, says Goatman. Roos are fairly placid and less provoked, kind of like deer, really. Fantomb. I don't know if I've seen you on the chat. Welcome, if this is your first chat. If I missed you on other ones, I'm sorry. Does Deb like Z for Zachariah by Robert C. O'Brien?
I do not know. Jake has done me a disservice. I have not read that book.
Seriously. Now everything everybody says is going to be one you haven't read. I have 3 copies of Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. Speculative and also about a liminal experience. My favorite read. Interesting, Constance. I haven't heard of it. Have you heard of that one, Deb?
I have read a book called Life After Life. I don't know that Kate Atkinson was the author. So I'm not sure, but Kate Atkinson rings a bell. I think I have read something by that author.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds really good. I'll have to check that out. Let's see. John Keel wrote The Mothman Prophecies, among other things. Okay, that was the Tower book he was talking about earlier. Leiber has a whole D&D world of Nuhan and a city of Lochmar adventures. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Lochmar. That's right.
I've heard of Tim Winton, but never read anything. I'll look up Eaton.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Even I have to order him online. I almost never order anything online, but I'd go out for that one.
Yeah. Sorry your hunty died. Huntsman spiders are adorable. A house is not a home without one.
I was really sad.
No, that terrifies me. Not in the house. They can be outside. She's lying. She's read all these books. I can see them behind her. I have one more question. I was just wondering, your decor in your room seems to change often. And every time I watch one of your videos, I'm like, oh, what is that thing back there? So now that you're here, what do you got hanging on your walls back there? What's that painting? And
It does change. I've got a lot of paintings and a lot of artwork. I paint, so they
oh, you
accumulate
paint.
faster. Yes, they
Oh,
accumulate
that's
faster than I can get rid of them. And my last house was larger, so I've got paintings that have no space, and I'll sort of move them around depending on my mood. You're fond
yeah,
of Japanese culture, Chris? My mum
absolutely.
loved Japan, and one of the things she loved about it was when she was there, apparently, somewhere where she was staying, they had this one spot on the wall with one nail, and they would hang one painting for a while and then take it down, put up another one. So you always had something stimulating and
Yeah,
different. Um,
yeah.
so I guess I absorbed that. This one here uh, is one I painted. This one here is one I painted.
That looks to me like it's one of these. Oh no, I'm seeing it wrong. Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Both of these are from photographs. So
Oh wow.
this one here, I did not paint. This one was given to me by a lovely lady named Sandra, who is Canadian. And because I was accidentally born in Canada, she kept trying to connect me to my Canadian heritage, of which I have none, by the way. And she
You
gave
were born in
this.
Canada though?
It was, yes, that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Huh. Interesting.
Um, Decor, other interesting decor. That up there was my first active sword. It's battle ready, but one day I swung it at someone's shield and it broke. And a sword is forged with the blade and then a tine. The tine broke midway, so it's now too short in the handle to actually use. It wouldn't be safe to use, so it's hanging on the wall. What other geeky things do I have?
Dang, I have a sword, but I've never used a sword. That's awesome.
I have a few swords.
People have questions. Rob wants to know, when did you start painting?
Um, there's a lot of them.
Oh,
I guess I've always painted. I've never studied painting. I just throw paint at a canvas and something seems to result. This is actually standing up again. This one is actually from a small black and white photo of my first birthday.
oh, that's you.
That one's me. That one was.
Oh, wow.
As you can see, very thoroughly Fauvist, impressionistic.
Yeah, I love
Those two
impressionism.
also ones I did.
Okay, we have to watch in Andrea's reaction here. We start there.
I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
Born in Canada, yeah. Accidentally.
So my parents horrified both their families by being natural nomads. They never stayed in one place for any length of time. Neither of them were Canadian. They just happened to be traveling on a ship to Canada at the time when I was conceived. I guess ocean voyages work that way. And yes, I was accidentally born in Canada.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sorry, what did you uncover over there now? That lady standing in the water.
Okay.
Because that's one I've seen on your those I've seen on your channel before. Yeah.
That one was there before. That one's fairly new.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
How fun.
If you're willing to pay postage, you can have it. They're piling up at a rate of knots. And there's other ones.
It's like Jimmy. Jimmy's also a wonderful painter. Yes. I don't know if you, and he just started selling them on eBay because he ran out of room. So people will buy. If you watch Sephiroth's videos, there's 2 Jimmy paintings behind him as he's talking.
Oh, I didn't know that was...
Yeah, really cool. I would easily.
I love the way Jim has his easel there, and you can slowly see it building up.
I would easily pay you shipping any day for a painting. I would love a painting. That's awesome. Yeah, those are wonderful. I always look at them when I'm watching your channel. And she has a sword. Deb, we already thought you were cool.
Thank you. I wish I
During
had a sword. I have something like 5 or 6 swords.
Wow.
Yeah, it's as addictive as books.
During my next interview, when they ask me where I see myself in a few years, I'll just send them a link to Deb's channel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Chris. Found Deb's channel via yours a couple months ago. The Picnic at Hanging Rock episode. Fantastic. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's me just thinking, just expressing stereotypical Australian knowledge again. I was like, I want to read an Australian book with Deb, and I picked the only one that I think most Americans could name, if even that, a book from Australia. But it was so fun. Yeah. Nice, Jake. Start showing it in your videos behind you.
You should.
Yeah. I couldn't afford a Jimmy painting yet, but I will one day. Deb, will you ever sell your artwork?
Yeah, sure. I don't have a problem with selling my artwork. Most of my friends own some. The sticking point for me is trying to figure out postage.
Yeah, postage is huge.
Nightmare.
Because just 2 books, right? It's like $30, like 2 paperbacks or whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's about time to start wrapping up. You got anything else you want to say, Deb? What's coming up on your channel?
Well, what's coming up on my channel is the end of November. Like I said, I really want to finish the Dinosaur Heresies and post that. And I'll do a wrap up for the month's reading. I've been doing a buddy read with Ira over at SF Words of Wonder.
Oh, that was fun.
By Harry Harrison and Gordon R. Dixon. This, incidentally, is called, I think, Life Ship in the American edition. It's got a different title. So that should be coming up before too long. And I am really looking forward to, in December, not having any reading plans and just reading whatever jumps off the shelf at me.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I still have to read some Elric in December. And then I think that's actually kind of what I'm looking forward to the most in December is Tim and Jimmy and I are going to be discussing the Elric saga that we had just read. So that's really fun. If you guys are not following Deb, I put her name in the description so you can just go down and click. And what subscriber count are you up to now, Deb? Do you remember?
I passed 700, I think, last month.
Oh, that's awesome. Good. I'd love to see you crack 1,000.
I was really excited to reach 700.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to crack 1,000. I think that would be fantastic. I'm always surprised these wonderful YouTube channels that are under 1,000. It blows my mind. Yeah. If you're not watching Deb, go watch some of Deb's stuff. Absolutely incredible. Deb, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Chris, for inviting me. It's always fun to talk about books with my favorite people.
Heck yeah. Next time we'll have Virgil on so he can chat with us too. All right. Thanks. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks, everybody on the stream. We'll talk to you later. Now we have to wait